All right, so hopefully I can just go through this really quick. I've been wanting to talk about this, and then came up on the Facebook, because I've been using the Facebook. And my ex-uncle-in-law, who's a great guy, cartoonist, doesn't like Trump or anything, but, you know, it's funny how many of the sort of these, and he's a political cartoonist in a small town, it's just funny. But anyway, so the way I see it is, these DSA guys with you, I'm assuming you heard about it, you know, they had their rules of decorum and how they want to run their procedure, and it was like, you know, no clapping, no gendered pronouns, whatever. The details don't really matter. I agree, you know, I'm 51, it strikes me a little bit unnecessary. I wouldn't say totally silly. Every organization has to talk about, are we going to use Robert's rules? You know, in the Senate, you can't go, hey, you fucking dumbass Republican senator. You know, there's that with a Republican that called Obama a liar at a State of the Union. That's inappropriate, right? And it's inappropriate the other way. Now, does it have to be inappropriate? No, I mean, in the Klingon Congress, maybe they do yell curse words at each other. The point is, you have to have, you know, rules of procedure. And so these guys are there trying to say, how can we be as polite as possible to each other? Oh, dear. But then, for example, you know, on Facebook, you know, I mentioned that it's like, these guys are just trying to figure out, hey, how can we be as polite to each other as possible? There's thousands of us here. How can we keep in mind, you know, people will have been through different experiences, different things might trigger certain people or whatever, hurt their feelings, however you want to put it. You know, what is the level? We can't insult people. There's certain things we can't say, but we are going to be in a political argument like we are here, right? And so things are going to get heated. We're going to think about ahead of time how it is we treat each other for our internal discussions. And that's compared to, on the other side, people saying, what are we going to do with immigrants? Shoot them! Har, har, har. That's at a presidential rally. So which of those is like, what if these guys get too polite? What'll happen then in the slippery slope? And of course, people are like, or this, you know, this Facebook friend or whatever. Oh, it's like Mao's Cultural Revolution. It's not really very much like Mao's Cultural Revolution. But what they're getting at is, oh, that's not nice because they're going to make us speak this way. So when DSA takes over the country, we're all going to have to speak this way. No, just parts of it will slip out. It's just like how you have to call a transgender person she now. Right, well, I sometimes forget, and I sometimes call Bradley Manning, and it's like, oh, my bad. Because, yeah, people are going to consider it impolite. I understand why they consider it impolite. I'd like to be on to the polite rule, but, you know, maybe I'm an uncouth American. I was going to say gooth. I had this word gooth stuck. That's not a word. An uncouth American. And, you know, so sometimes I don't get the salad fork right. Oh, no. I'm not that worried about it. And some people are like, yes, but we won't let you in a restaurant anymore. We have to perfect, and that's not a very good hat you're wearing. And I don't go in those restaurants. That's just, you know, yeah, some places I might not be able to mind my P's and Q's and dot my I's and slash my T's well enough for that group. Oh, well. It's not something to panic over compared to people like Sargon of Akkad and V saying Heather Heyer, well, she had a heart attack. Probably could have been just a total coincidence that somebody was driving a car into her at the time. And besides, that guy could have been running for his life from Black Lives Matter. We could be a big coincidence. That's the extremity on the other side, is the people that are going, we're not all right. We hate the all right. Well, you're still all right to me, Sargon. And the reason is because when something comes along like a dead body, you're going, maybe the white nationalist was just running for his life, and maybe she was fat and it was a coincidence. And then make a video about this kind of stuff where they're like, this is so cringe. So fucking what? I count bodies when I'm worrying about what's dangerous at a social level. I count bodies. As far as I know, we're losing 15,000 a year because of auto accidents. That's an issue. Maybe we could do something about it. No, there's probably nothing to do. Well, maybe there is. There's 15,000 people worth of, maybe let's look into it. 3,000 people 10 years ago, well, that's 3,000. That'd be 300 a year on average. The fact is, terrorism doesn't cost as many lives as automobiles. The danger with terrorism is if somebody got a nuclear bomb, even a dirty nuclear bomb, not that as big a deal as you panic monkeys make it out to be. They're gonna come and make me learn a word. If I don't learn it, they'll say I'm rude. Yeah, I'm not worried about that. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's like these guys are sitting around making themselves look silly, trying to be as polite as possible to each other and take each other's feelings into account. That's a big danger. That's like totalitarian communism right there. Yeah, I don't think so. So anyway, I've been wanting to discuss that because the dichotomy is just so weird. And frankly, yeah, I get the cringiness of watching kids say, let's snap instead of clap. Yeah, but also, guess what? I also see is that, that's just as weird. You know, if you came from another country where they didn't clap for this, you're like, what the fuck is this group doing? Making, cricket noise. Chirp, 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 chirp. I mean, it can be anything. And it's weird no matter what. So people want to switch it up because, deaf people can't hear your clap, but they can see the wave of jazz hands. Whatever. Who really fucking cares? Mix it up. And if you're trying to be polite, first of all, you have to. It's a decorum. This is a group. They're supposed to talk to each other. They're going to have strong disagreements about what goes in their platform or not. And therefore, figuring out the rules of decorum is probably a good idea because they can't let it fall all apart like these conversations in the wild on YouTube have fallen apart, right? Because they actually have to get things done. Like they got a budget and they're going to run campaigns and things. They're going to actually have to get things done. They can't just sit at home and call everybody else, fucktards. Oh no, how polite is this going to get? Fuck off. Beeble Rocks. Hey, Beeble Rocks. All right. Cheers.